All right, how is that? Can you hear me now? I have a bar, so I'm also really, really loud. So let me just take this down just a little bit. How is that? Is everyone able to hear me? And thank you for those of you who have liked and subscribed. Well, that just adds to the intro that no one will hear that I was doing. Let me flip back over to here. So, thank you both very much for helping me troubleshoot. Um, this has been a morning, as you can clearly tell. So, not only did that mic go out, when I went to go live, I was setting everything up, had everything ready to go, was laying out my little things I'm going to do for performance and this, that, and the other thing. And I went to go live, and it went. Oh, actually, even before then, the camera went out and went, and I was kind of like frozen in spot. And so I was like, okay, not a big deal. Got plenty of time. A couple of minutes before the stream. I'm good. You can get a lot done in 2 minutes. And I went over and plugged the camera, fixed the camera, came over. Okay, the camera's good. And then I noticed this background was gone. I'm like, everything else was there. The background was gone. I'm like, the hard drive that this background sits on just was like asleep and wouldn't wake up. And I'm like, fix that. Okay, it's back up. Da 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 da. Okay, let's go live. Click. Oh no, you have to log out and log back in. All right. Logged out. Logged back in and went. Now put in a pin because, MFA. Nope. What do you mean, no? You sent me the pin. Nope. Logged back out. Logged back in. Send me another pin. All right, that one works, right? Okay. That one worked. Set up. It was already a couple of minutes into after I was supposed to start. I was like, all right, fine. Set up. Went live. And then there was no one on, so I was like, all right, hang out. I'm just going to do my little thing, do my coffee chill. And talked about exactly what I just said. I was like, these are the problems I was having. This is what happened. And then Jeff comes on and goes, hey, how's it going, man? All right, good to see you. Can't hear you. What? Jennifer's like, what? She says, yeah, I can't hear you either. Well, yes, isn't technology amazing? And for those of you who are seeing this after the fact, hi. And welcome to Chain Reaction Studios live video vectors and pixels. If you would like to, I don't know, help me fix these technology problems, or just generally want to make an artist happy by fueling their caffeine art engine, you can help by going to buymeacupofcoffee.com/chainreaction. Every penny will either go into fueling some more art or fixing this stuff right here. Oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. How are you all? Good morning, Lori. You missed the computer was having shenanigans on the artist for a change. It's been a morning. Excuse me while I sent her. The first, 15 minutes, 20 minutes is me trying to fix the live feed. Oh my goodness. I needed this. Oh my gosh, I'm going to do another one. And this is the small cup, believe it or not. There's a meme I saw. It was a video meme. Like at a Starbucks, a guy sitting at a table, and there's a girl at another table. And the barista brings over literally a cup this big, full to the brim with black coffee. I mean, it's a cup. Sets it down. Guy picks it up and starts sipping on it, and the girl next door is like, or next to him's like, "Oh my goodness!" And it says, "When your doctor says you're only allowed to have a single cup of coffee a day." I need that cup. All right, let's get into it. Gosh, how many times am I going to do my intro? Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're here joining me on this very special Vectors and Pixels. As you can see, the disappearing overlay is a different color today. Not that bright orange that Chain Reaction is known for, but instead is this nice sepia color, which is to bring it more in line to a project that is incredibly important to me. And for those of you who have been watching my live streams, and for those of you who hang around with me, you are already know what's going on and are probably already sick of me just drumming this drum. But as you can see by the really nicely brightly lit overlays, the Kickstarter for my game Scuttled is coming up in 8 days. Today's the 17th. Yes, 8 days. And we will be demoing it here at the Phoenix Fan Fusion May 27th through 29th. At which time you can order copies of the game. In the meanwhile, I thought I would show off the game just a little bit in a little more detail. We do have art. I know this is an art-related stream, and I will be working on some art. But one of the things I do have over here is I have this QR code. This QR code right now will take you to a "Hey, we're coming soon" page, but there's a button on that page, and that button is notify me when this goes live. You can also go to the URL, which is just kickstarter.com/projects/scuttled/scuttled. I don't know why they do that. They have the name of the project, which is Scuttled, and then Scuttled? I don't know. But that URL. Anyway, that hyperlink, I can't think today. The URL. Oh my, dyslexia is a thing. It's a way of life, really. Will take you to the live page once it goes live. So for those of you who have not gone to the preview page and click the little remind me button or let me know when it goes live button, it's the same button, please do that now, and that way you'll know the moment we go live on the Kickstarter, and that'll be the moment that you can buy your very own copy of the game. Let me tell you how this is going to work. The way Kickstarter works in general, it's an all or nothing funding platform. We set a number that we need to make it happen. And people donate, either they donate because they want to support the project, or they want some of the tiers of yummies and goodies that are associated with the project to help fund the project. And usually what the Kickstarter is to help get funding to get a project going, to kickstart the project. We're using it a little bit different. We are using this to sell a project that has already come to fruition. This is the box. It doesn't have the cards in it at the moment because they're down here. Good morning, Sam. Boy, do I have stories to tell you later. Oh my gosh, the shenanigans my computer performed upon me was epic. Anyway, back to this. The game is done. Box art's clearly finished. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with the box. And I'm going to tell you a secret about this box. Good morning again, Jennifer. Boy, have I missed you, and I love you. Love all of you. Here's the box here. Now I'm going to tell you guys a secret about this box. And it's going to be hard to see because I've got all this glare going on. Let me go back to the big screen here. These represent the cards or the pieces of 8 that you play the game. And there's one right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and very, very faintly on the back. Actually, this is the right side up. It's hard to see. There it is. 8. There are 8 pieces of 8 on the box by design. I am excited for this, says Jeff. I also had friends at a board game hangout just 2 days ago and heard one say, you know, there's not enough pirate-themed board games. I said, well, let me tell you about this game my friends have created. How awesome! Good morning, Tiffany. Thank you very much, Jeff. That is incredibly awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am going to flip back over to here for the moment so that people have an opportunity to use the QR code or that URL, said it right this time, to go to the pre-launch page to be informed when the Kickstarter goes live. Now, going back, the way we've got the Kickstarter structured is a little bit different than what Kickstarter's designed to do. We have a finished product. What it is that this product is way too expensive to order one at a time. You know, oh, I want this one this week, and then 3 weeks later I have someone say they want a copy. This box cost me $60, so if I were to sell it, it would have to be at a stupid price so I can make some money on it. Nobody wants to pay that kind of money for the, I mean, if I was doing a huge board game, that's not unrealistic, but I'm not doing a huge board game. I'm doing a card game. One that should be shared with family and friends and played for years and years to come. So good quality materials went into the thought process of this, and we selected some beautiful card paper, which again is very shiny, and here's one of the cards right here. So what we did is we say, here is the number of units we have to sell in order to get this price down to being reasonable, which is $30. When we launch the Kickstarter, this will be $30, but we need to have enough people order copies of this so that we can purchase them from the printer at that price and get them to you guys. The Kickstarter has a big scary number. Hey, Kaylee shared the stream. Thank you very much, Kaylee. Big scary number on there, and it's a scary number to me, but that includes what it's going to cost to produce enough of these to get that price point to $30, what it's going to take to pay all the fees, because there are fees associated with a Kickstarter. Kickstarter wants a chunk, and the people who process their payments wants a chunk. Then there's the shipping of that to us, and then there's us. Hey Sam, thank you for liking the stream. Then there is us shipping this to you. So it's a big number, and it scares me, but it's exactly what it's going to take. And I think I did all the little calculations with Sam and everyone, and there's not a lot of I made money on this. Pantsless Pirates Gaming has liked the stream. That's another stream you guys need to be watching, is the Pantsless Pirates Gaming every Wednesday on both Twitch and Facebook and YouTube, and you can watch Captain Dander Greybeard play Wormmeat.io, and you can watch the shenanigans of us playing WoW, and it is very, very interesting. Delayed Expectations is the name of the guild, and silliness is guaranteed. But back to what I wanted to talk about before we can do some art. So that is a very big number. We need everybody to order as many of these as they think they will need for themselves, for their friends, as gifts, because these should be in your hands, not mine, your hands, by October-ish is the guesstimate. And it all depends on production and shipping and things like that. There are things that are going to be out of our control. But this is what it's going to take to get this into your hands. And you should have them by mid-October-ish. so that you can use them for Christmas gifts for this upcoming Christmas. Now, this is a 4-inch by 4-inch box. Perfect for stocking stuffer. It's dense because these cards are, there's 126 cards in this deck. They're made of M31 French casino paper, which has this beautiful texture on them. It's really hard to see on this camera, and I don't think it'll focus for me. The quality was one of the things that I really wanted to go into this. We have a nice little rule book, and it is full color, and it spells everything out. Tells you what each and every card does and how it's done. Looks very carryable, portable for taking around to places too. Absolutely. Good morning, Breathing Karma. I did not see your hello there. Thank you very much. Jeff, you are on point with this. This was designed to be very portable so that you can take it to family gatherings. You can toss it into your bag. You can throw it into your backpack, whatever, and have hours and hours and hours of fun with family and friends, and even maybe make some playful enemies. Hey, Ashley, how you doing? Talking about my passion right now. We will be doing some art, but I really wanted to talk about this because the Kickstarter, which going back over to here, is going to go live in 8 days. I'm not nervous. No, I'm not. Nope, 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 nope. And I wanted to show off some of the things that makes this game fun and unique, and I wanted to show off how the game plays. One of my favorite things about the rules, because the mechanics of this game is ones we've all played with growing up. It's a card shedding game where you put like colors on like colors, like numbers on like numbers, and I chose Roman numerals because that is the oh, by the way, cheating is allowed in this game as long as you don't get caught. And if you get caught, then it's a 4-card penalty. You have to draw 4 cards. And if you do cheat and you get away with it, it is mandatory that you brag about it. There will also be, Pantsless Pirates points out, there will also be a online video rule book being filmed as we speak right now this week, as well as a live video playthrough is being scheduled. So when the Kickstarter goes live, you'll be able to look at those videos and be able to decide if this is the game for you. And let me tell you, it will be the game for you. One of the most important things about this game over similar games is the silliness that we've included in some of the cards. But the cards themselves absolutely have to take place first. So for example, you get down to your last card. I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win. And it's your turn, and you play your last card. And that last card happens to be Squall. Oh, let's go big. Sorry, guys. Happens to be a Squall, and that says all players switch hands in the direction of play. So you lay down your last card. I win. No, you don't. Card takes place first. So you're now empty hand, goes to that person, and then you get this person's book of cards. So you're sitting here with, I have no cards, to, I think I lost the game. Yes, this person over here just won the game. It's great to do bad things to people. One of my other favorite ones is this is a theory, not a theory, a mechanic that's used in other games where you force another player to draw 2 cards. Well, this is a cannonball card. As we all know, cannonballs stack. You stack them on deck. So this stacks. So I play a cannonball on that guy. You have to draw 2 cards. If they have a cannonball in their hand, they can play it down. Can't wait to make others win with a Squall, right? They can lay it down, so instead of them doing 2 cards, that guy has to do 4 cards. Unless he also has a cannonball. Then it's 6 cards, 8 cards, 10 cards, 4 colors, 2 cannonballs per color. There are 8 of these things in there. And yours truly has been hit with the epic record of, I think it was 8 cannonballs because it went around. I may have been 10. I can't remember. But I was so stunned. I was like, because I started it. Ha 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 ha. Oh. So now I've got this book. Doing bad things to other players is so much fun. It can be simple as, you know, making them skip their turn and spending some time with Davy Jones. But I think my absolute favorite and unique card to the game is this one right here. We're pirates, stuck with the tab. You play this on your turn, and that person there has to take one card from every player at the table, unless they too have a stuck with the tab card in their hand. Nope, he's paying the tab, and so now that person has to take one card from every player. Nope, he's got a stuck with the tab, and it goes around until someone can't stick someone else with the tab. It's only one card, but it goes around, and it's great shenanigans. In this version of this style of game, wild cards can be played on your turn, regardless of what's in your hand. You can play a warrant card on somebody, and this forces them to draw 4 cards, and then you choose the color that's going to happen, unless they have a letter of marque. Now, this is the only card in the game that allows you to cancel the effect of another card other than to pass it around. In this case, this directly cancels the draw 4. It's like, aha, you have to draw 4 cards. I have a letter of marque. No, I don't, and the color's blue, or whatever color you prefer. So it's one of the few cards that can cancel out another card. There is the Uber card, which I can't seem to find. I was looking for, and of course, you know, we just have this wonderful splay of cards. I mean, that was just some of the deck. Here's the rest of the deck. We have the Captain's card, which I think is the most important card in the game because it dictates the direction of play. It changes so often that we created a card just to keep track of the direction of play. And once you started playing Scuttled, you'll understand why that card is so bloody important. There are 126 cards in this deck, which means the combinations of events are never the same. I have played this game hundreds and hundreds of times, and no 2 games have ever ended the same. And then there is the Kraken. Oh boy. This is a simple card. It merely says, everyone discard their hand and draw 8 new cards. If this is in your hand, you can't win the game. It's impossible. Because remember, the effects of the game, of the cards, happen first. So you're like, aha, my last card, I win. No, you just gave yourself and everyone else 8 brand new 8 cards. Everyone gets a brand new hand. So now this gets taken out. It is usually set whoever's playing captain, who's the dealer, and this moves to the left every turn. This now sits with the captain's card, and it's out of play, so it can't save you anymore. Then you play until someone wins, then you take the Kraken, and you put it back in the deck. That, ladies and gentlemen, oh, I can't wait to make, yes, others win by scroll. That, ladies and gentlemen, is, it's a good thing I'm not a true TV spokesperson. That is, in a nutshell, how you play this game. You try to get rid of your hand by playing light colors on light colors, light numbers on light numbers. Oh, and I forgot to follow up on the cheating thing. We're using Roman numerals. So the most common cheat, IV, 4, versus VI, 6. If no one's paying attention, you can sneak one of those things on top. Whenever there's a 6 and you try to throw a 4 down, if no one's paying attention, you might get away with it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are not going to be paying attention and will throw it down unintentionally. Remember, if you get caught cheating, it's a 4-card penalty. It's rough. And there are other little variations of rules, like when you're calling Scuttled, which means you're about to go out at any point if you only have a single card in your hand for whatever reason, and you don't call Scuttled within a heartbeat, which we have figured is a 1.5 to 2 second count, 2-card penalty. It's an evil little game where everybody tries to stab everyone else in the back. And we all love crap on your neighbor games. All right. So, one more time, here's the Kickstarter QR code. That is the URL for those of you who want to be notified when this game goes live, or when this Kickstarter goes live, which is in 8 days on the 25th of May. Those of you who are watching this in the future, please check to see if the Kickstarter is live, and check with our Facebook page to see if you can purchase them online, because at that point, hopefully, we will have everything up and running and ready to go. So, hey, good morning, John Paul. You and I need to make an appointment, because I severely seem to be lacking color, and that's all on me, not on you. So I need to figure out a way to get to you at a time and get my beard dyed, because that was a promise I made a little while back. It's almost getting to be too far to remember, which means I have failed my stream. Back to work for you. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you very much. You have a great day. Oh, yes. Okay, let me put everything back in here, and let's actually finish the tree that I've been working on up until this point, which just so happens to be right here. Remember this? Alrighty. How is everyone doing out there? I have been just blah 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 blah, scuttled, blah 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 blah, and haven't been checking in with you guys. How are you guys doing out there? I'm going to take that moment of silence, because there's a 30-second delay, to get some coffee. Oh, and I needed that coffee. Let me tell you, today has been interesting. Need to make an appointment. Need to make appointments with you all. Just yes. You don't need to make an appointment. Just come and hang out. Just let me know when I'll do late appointment. Oh, well, thank you very much, John Paul. With the convention and everything coming up, I mean, that is on the 27th. So that's oh my goodness, 10 days. 10 days till the first convention in 2 years that I've been to. 10 days before you can come to the booth and buy comic books, canvas, art, buttons, pens, same things, prints, keychains, new t-shirts, limited stock too. I added so many new things that we don't have a lot of room, and we definitely need you guys to come by. Everything is going to be limited edition, so to speak. We only have 5 of each size of t-shirts, for example. We do have women's t-shirts, very specifically the V-cut ones, because we have women in our group who have made it very clear that not all women are comfortable with a men's t-shirt in the way they're cut like this. I mean, you have some extra anatomy that this makes life so much nicer for. So, listened and got V-cut women's shirts, and they also are a little more tapered for your body. But we have all the same t-shirts available. Ooh, by followers, primes, and views on mountainviewers.com. Hey, I just got hit by a bot. How awesome is that? I'm worthy of botting, apparently. And this is why I probably should have admins and moderators. Oh well. But hey, I can buy followers. I don't need to buy followers. I have my wonderful community of those of you who are my friends and family. So I'm happy. If I don't get beyond 10, 20 people who follow me, I'm happy, because those 10 and 20 people, they know me, they love me, they support me. And, you know, I would freak out about that before, but I don't have enough followers, oh no. And I'm like, you know what? The people who do follow me are awesome, and they're my love and my family. So I'm not going to worry about that, although I am dripping from the right nostril today again. All right. Well, here we are with a nice piece of art. What am I going to do with this thing? We're really coming close. There's not a whole lot I can think of doing other than maybe adding some more detail to the leaves, playing around with colors, and whether or not I'm going to put a character in here. I mean, I do have, let's minimize this window just a little bit so I can get at all this stuff here. And I do have a character in there, but he's just stuck in there. Kind of give me an idea. I was like, I do like the idea of something in there. I don't necessarily think it needs to be this guy. And whatever I do put in there, I'm going to have to draw by hand, scan it in. We can go through that process. Or I can use some of the other characters that I've drawn over the years and stick them in there. But this was a good kind of, let's see what this looks like. Let's get a feel for it. What do you guys think? What do I need to put in this scene? I'm going to go ahead and take him out. Or should I just leave it alone? Leave it a little mystery. I can put a little fairy firefly in there. Of course, the one I have currently is naked. Because, you know, I must be a 15-year-old drawing this stuff. I swear, you look at any anime and some of the, shall we say, physics of the female they have in their shows, I swear they're all drawn by 15-year-old boys. Absolutely. Beautifully done, but clearly something on their mind. Or catering to their demographic, which is more likely. Oh, okay. I kind of like that, having some kind of fruit or nuts and berries hanging from here, apples. That'd be kind of fun. Well, let's address this tree. I know that I want to do something with these 4 leaves, I believe they are. Nope, one's 5 leaves. That's what these are. I know I want to play around with these. And I think we're going to add a little detail to these. And while we're in there, we can think about what could be peeking out. Nuts or a little beehive or something kind of fun. I like that idea, John Paul. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so I can get in here and look at what I need to. And I'm going to create a layer so that what I'm working on doesn't affect in case we mess up. That's what I love about layers is not sure this is going to look okay, so as to not to have to redraw everything I've just done, we're going to put it on another layer and see how we feel about it. It's all about that feel about it. I do need to get a color and a little bit of room on here because I know I'm going to use. Alright, I like that. Let's go and go B, which is my brush, and my brush is set at 1. And just for funs and grins, we're just going to kind of test the feel of it out here. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Let's throw a couple leaves that we'll never see over here so we can play with it a little bit. Kind of add in some little details here. I don't like that. Let's not mess with that. Let's zoom in here. Let's do something I wasn't planning on doing. Let's go B, and let's kind of play with outlining some of the, here, let's go V, let's grab this, let's clean it up just a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm changing the tension of the curves. If those of you who do math and understand Bezier curves, because I sure as heck don't, that's what's going on here is I'm selecting the various bits and changing the tension on those curves. So let's, whoops, my keyboard's in the way. Got too many things going on here. So I'm going to move this back just a little bit. Might mess with my camera. And let's go ahead and play around with this guy. And again, I'm not sure I'm going to feel about these leaves being done like this. So we are going to go back and forth and kind of look at it. We'll do the same with this here. And whoops. Beak, beak. Yeah, it's too much. There we go. Let's zoom out just a little bit. So this is our experiment. So let's go back to the scene and zoom out just a little bit here. Lock everything down. Say, hey, we want you to be full, fit that window, and let's look at those leaves and ponder them. Do we like those leaves, or do we like them like they are up here? Just kind of suggestion of shape, or do we want to start seeing the detail? Because this is a large tree. It's the kind of the focal point of the picture, and it probably deserves more than what I call mid-ground design to them. What do you guys think? 30-second delay means I get more coffee. Woo. Don't know where my little thing went. So, woo. This has been kind of a community piece from the beginning. In fact, the first time I talked about scuttles, I was trying to draw this tree, and all I got was a brown smudge on the side. And I do want to come back and readdress the bark. There's just not enough detail in there, and I'm not happy with some of the lines, but we're definitely on the right course for those. A little more detail since it is the main character of this art. One art, please. I kind of agree with that. I may have to redo the Ford ones as well, but I really like that idea. It's going to be a little more work, and I don't mind this artistic, as I'm calling it, artistic choice to have this overlay like this. See how the leaves don't fit quite the design, which is okay. I need to add some detail to these guys. But I'm liking that idea, so I think we are going to go ahead and go with adding detail where necessary, and just kind of see where this takes us. So let's open up the far leaves again, and that was all on its own layer, and I've got my handy dandy pen. For those of you who are learning digital art, who are just dipping their toe into this, I tend to mouse a lot of my textures, and I shouldn't. It's just because that's what I have, and I don't have everything laid out as ergonomically as I should. However, if you are in Procreate, or you're on a tablet using some other program, you're in Photoshop, you're in whatever software that is your choice, get yourself a stylus. Get yourself a pad. I know these things have a name. Wacom makes them. Tablet. No, that's not the word. I'm telling you, Alzheimer's is starting to set in, boys and girls. This is going to be a fun ride. I'm going to enjoy my dementia. I don't think anyone else is. Anyway, get yourself a drawing pad. Get yourself a stylus. Wacom makes the best. Bamboo too is good for people starting out. I have a very, very old one. Mine's literally the drawing surface is a foot by a foot, because I was doing a lot of 3D modeling when I purchased this. This is in 202. It is older, and they give you all these tips to go for the pen. And I've had this one for going on 20 years now, and I've never replaced the tip. I still have them all. Don't lose them, because that's what they're for, in case the cat gets a hold of them or something. But they're a good investment. This one I've had, like I said, 20 years or ish, probably a little longer, honestly. And it's a good investment. So if you're learning to draw digitally, don't destroy your carpal tunnel using a mouse. You can do it, but you will be more organic using this. And I think that's one of the reasons I default to the mouse, is because I 3D model with different styles of inputs that are more direct like this over a pen. Doing 3D modeling with a pen, unless you're laying things out, can be challenging. So there you go. Pro tip 101. Zipping in here. And if there's something you guys would rather me cover or talk about, let me know. Okay, my computer just locked up. There we are. Zoom out just a little bit. Don't need to be that close to the tree. There we go. By the way, all that buy me a cup of coffee jazz would go towards a new computer, because this one is acting up. But we will get by. Let's do our brush again. Let's bring a leaf in here. And, ooh yeah, I'm running out of pad. I really need to change the layout so this is a little more ergonomic. But the cool thing is it does create mistakes, and those mistakes sometimes equate to character. So don't get frustrated if something doesn't go quite the way you had planned, because it might add more interest than you thought it would. So I'm going to tighten up some of this here. Now I know some of this is under these branches, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a fun little leaf. It goes here, and I like the little snippets. Actually, you know what? Let's add a little more to it than that. Let's go whoop, add a little curve to this one. See how that looks. It'll either look horrible or it'll be brilliant. I'm leaning towards brilliant because, you know, I don't get to be called brilliant too often. Oh, those two touch. That's okay. And it's just the matter of going through and drawing a bunch of leaves. It's tedious, but it's fun. And you get to, like, what's going on here? Whoops, ran out of room. Let's try that again. Let's drop this down here just a little bit. Let's try that again. What's going on here? We've got a fun little leaf. Let's not do that. Let's just grab this right here. So let's smooth this out a little bit. See, I make the computer do all the hard stuff. I don't know why people make it so difficult on themselves. All right. How are you guys doing out there? Are you enjoying this? Is this entertaining? Do you want me to carry on with something else? Let's go ahead and add a little more to that. Alrighty, let's zoom, zoom. Let's see, zoom. I think we will need that. We'll just go. And a little more work. Hey, what are you doing out there? TJ, I have not heard from you in forever, my friend. How are you doing? All right. I have given him credit over the years for the best line I have ever heard in my life, and he said it to me first. TJ here looked at me one day, and he said to me, "I smile because I'm your friend. I laugh because there's nothing you could do about it." And that has been so true. So true. And I've used that line, by the way, quite often. I am so glad you made it. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I credit you too, my friend. I credit you all the time. Um, if you get a chance, check out the Scuttled Kickstarter. There's stuff all over my Facebook page for that. And if you're interested in the game that I'm producing, which is a fun little game, it's very family friendly, but it definitely has an adult flair to it when you play it with a bunch of adults, and I'm sure alcohol can always be added to any game. It's a lot of fun. But back to drawing copious numbers of leaves, and trust me, I will do most of these off the stream, just because what you see me do is pretty much what's going to happen over and over and over. But let's see how this looks. I feel like freaking Bob Ross. Let's take a look. Is it a happy little tree? All right, we're getting a little more detail in there. What do you guys think? Keep going with this, or like the darker leaves here only have a little abstract hint? Or should we go ahead and try to detail out all these leaves? What do you guys feel? We haven't done any harm to this piece. All those lines are on a layer above, so I can remove a few leaves here and there. I can add more leaves in, change things. Hey, Spunkette, how you doing? So glad you made it. I figured you'd be asleep. It's coffee time, let me tell you. Oh, the shenanigans my computer performed upon me this morning trying to get ready for this live stream. Anything that could go wrong did. Everything that you wouldn't think was possible to go wrong did. Yeah, sleep is for the weak. Time enough to sleep when you're in the grave, right? No rest for the wicked, as they say. It has been a morning. Absolute morning. So, what do we think about these leaves? Do we think we want to continue using them to add detail? Gotta get back to work. Have a good one. I'll check out your Kickstarter. Thank you very much, TJ. I'm so happy you came in, man. I have missed you. I have missed you a lot. I've been keeping track of you. So I definitely have missed you. You get back to work. Do your thing, my friend. Love you. Moving on. This is going to weird out people who are watching this in the future going, what? Because they don't see the chat. That's another thing I want to ask you. Do you guys want to see the chat in the video that I'm doing? I would not know where to put it. Above me, maybe here, because you guys don't really need to see the tools I'm working on. But I like the level of detail to the last group, maybe that much all over. See, I have to do this because my camera is right where the chat is. If I was a smart man, I'd move the chat over there and all the sound stuff over here. But I've not been accused of being that smart. Also, going back to work, we love you too, dear. I love you very, very much. Kickstarter convention, for those of you who are catching up. A lot of stuff going on. But let's go back to more details of trees. Let's see, I've already got a few little details in these bigger trees, leaves here. So let's look at the 4 leaves. And let's go ahead and continue that level of detail. Let's play back here, where I think it's a little more interesting. Let's change out our color for the appropriate color. Don't know why that one was highlighted. And let's go ahead and add some detail here and see how we like it. And this was kind of an obvious choice right here. A little bit of low-hanging fruit. I don't know if I want to do that line. I think I won't do those lines on this one. So let's do this. Let's grab this. Smooth it out just a little bit. Oh, Christopher, thank you, Chris. Thank you very much for the like. I appreciate it. Hey, I understand you guys have a few miniatures to paint, and it sounds like you're going to be needing to use an airbrush. So, Chris, when you get a chance, let me know, and we can have, I can bring my airbrush over, or we can just figure it out. Come over, airbrush a ton of miniatures, because you know I have a ton, and learn how to use it and figure out best ways to approach it. Anyway, moving on. Back to leaves. Leaves are my life. Back to leaves. I think this one is definitely going to come like that. Oop, not like that though. See, I made a mistake. Oh, let's unhighlight that though. And let's bring this leaf more like this. Like that. And then I think this leaf definitely should come like that. So I didn't connect those just yet because I want to smooth them into. Let's see. Yeah, shift. Talking to myself. Sorry. If I'm doing anything you guys want me to explain, please let me know. I'm always willing to talk about how I do things and why. So let's drag a leaf in here. I'm just making this up as I go, by the way, so there's no real rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. And just having a good time doing whatever it is I'm supposedly doing. I think I'm drawing. And we're just playing with leaves. So let's grab these. And let's grab these. And let's smooth them just a little bit, just to kind of take the roughness out. Oops, I don't think I did them well enough. Hang on, let's do it one more time. Bang, there we go. That's a little better. Now let's go back to our scene, just kind of look it over and see if stylistically this is what we're after. Because, yeah, I think it will take a lot of work. And then I can add some variation of colors, add shadows with the different leaves, highlight some with that light coming in from the dawn, really making the translucency of the leaves look well. So I think this is a path, and I am definitely going to do that, but it's boring to watch somebody draw leaves. It's kind of like watching paint dry. So let's talk about some other aspects of this tree. I am not overly happy with the colors and some of the bark, so let's work on the actual tree itself. I'm going to go ahead and put this back over to here. Let's go back to my mouse. It's just easier to access some things. And this is all this is. It's just a bunch of lines, and then all the lines I can hide, so I can work with each of the independent colors as I see fit. There's just the lines themselves. So I think I want to address this tree. I think there's some opportunities here to get some shading. And so what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to lock this layer, and then I'm going to insert a layer. I'm going to call it shadow. And I'm not sure how this is going to work, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paste in place this copy, but this time I'm going to probably really darken it. Let's see, that's the color there. Let's take some of the hue out and bring it down. I don't want it to be black, and we're going to do some special effects with it, but right now I think I'm going to make this a line just so I can see what I'm doing, which I never know exactly what the heck I'm doing. And I'm going to take my eraser. Let's see how big this eraser is real quick. Okay, it's only that big. So let's make oh, that's minimum size, which is, minimum size should be 2. Let's make this size 3. And see what that looks like. Okay, that's a good start. What I'm going to do, in theory, is I'm going to zoom in here really close, and I'm going to play around with some special effects. I'm going to play around with this thing. Now, I know I've gone over an hour, but we did start a little late. Sorry, guys. And I'm willing to go another hour if you guys are interested. I know some of you work and you're here just popping in and probably listening to me in the background. But if you'd like, I can continue doing what I'm doing. And I've actually finally gotten to something interesting. In fact, you know what? I think I want to bring this up a little bit bigger. I'm going to make this, yeah, 9, actually 9 works for me. 9 and 3, okay. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's about what I want for this effect. So what I'm doing is I'm going to create a shadow effect. And it can be a little rough. And I know light is going to come into here. Now I'm going to stop right there. Because this is going to have slightly different properties than the other branches. So light is going to be coming from where the sun is and may or may not hit all the branches. That's okay. Now what I'm up to is I'm creating a layer that I'm going to use, get rid of some of that, to generate kind of a filter. No, let's not do that. I want that kind of in the shadow there. Let's bring the light in subtly. There we go. Alrighty. And I'm going to use this to create a shadow layer over this tree. And whoops, wrong button. Let's go back to here. Mistakes were made. People were blamed. There we go. This is good. And it doesn't. It's a tree, so it can be a bit rough. That's okay. We're going to have light. Now I'm going to unhide this major layer here, and then for this setting, V, hello, there we go. I'm going to drop the size of my brush just a little bit, and then for this, I'm going to have a few lines that are being highlighted by the light. A little more interesting than right there. Alright, I think it's good enough for now. Okay, so why did I do all that? And let's hide this. And this shadow is going to go on top of everything. And what I'm going to do with this, hello, is, see, it's already kind of more interesting. I'm going to take the shadow, I'm going to turn it into a symbol, or a brush, or whatever piece of software it's a symbol. So we're going to call this tree shadow, and we'll say 01 in case I want to make another one. And it's going to be a movie clip, it's registration in the upper left corner, all that stuff doesn't matter. What's going to matter is the color effect. I'm going to give it an alpha channel, and we're going to stay 100 for the moment, and then we're going to figure out what looks best. Is darkening going to work? No. Multiply? Way too much. Screen? Well, let's unhide everything so we know what it looks like. There we go. Yeah, screen's not going to work for me. Where did it all go? Hello. Bink. There we go. Screen is not going to work for me. How about an overlay? Overlay, maybe, but I'd have to definitely give it an alpha. Additive? No. Again, it lightens it up. Subtractive? Better. Subtractive might be what we want. Going back to screen, lightens it. Just double checking the things I know generally work. Overlay, way too dark. So yeah, I think we're definitely oops, wrong one. Going to go with, nope, wrong one. Oops. Why do I keep clicking on alpha? It's subtractive. All right. So now we're going to work out how much, and then I'm going to add, still watching, just running errands. I guess you're watching me on the phone. Thank you. And this is not exactly riveting material, but thank you for hanging in there, guys. I love it. Stellar Miller has liked it. Thank you very much for liking, guys. I appreciate it. All right. Let's go with some, let's add a blur in here. Let's add just apparently everything I do has blur. Let's add soften that edge just a little bit. And let's go back to the scene. This may or may not have worked the way I intended. Let's lock it down. And let's take a look. See, the nice thing is I can adjust this and play around with it a little bit. I mean, I like the idea of that. I might need less. Let's play around with it. Let's do the most extreme thing we can with it. So we got the shadow. Let's lock everything except for the shadow. Only the shadow knows. Let's give it a full blown, and let's not blur it as much, a little sharper, because I think I need to redraw some of this in here. I'm not real happy with that. So, because you know the eraser was a little too big, so let's open this up, quit it, and let's grab this color, and let's paint back in some of this detail that I think was lost, to be honest. This is all experimentation. You kind of mess around with it. And let's add in some of this detail, which I kind of dig there. And I think this is just lost in general. We'll just leave a little hint of it there. Alrighty, that's better. Let's do the same for here. First, let's take a little bit more out. Like this idea of this being kind of rough in here. But then we're going to paint some of it back in and make it rough. And then, that didn't work as intended, did it? Let's get rid of that and that. And then let's redraw it just a little bit. Let's keep it in there because this is an area. There we go. Let's roughen this up. And no, you can't see that because of the leaves, so that doesn't matter. Got leaves there. Let's roughen this up just a little bit. And this is just me trying to add a little bit of cartoon texture. You know, being a cartoonist, not everything has to be 100% accurate, but I kind of like to play with it. I like to pretend I'm an artist. Let's put some of this in here. Let's add some stuff there. A little Wuji over here. Like I said, I'm not going to see some of this because it's hidden behind leaves. So I want to pay particular attention to the things that we can see, but I also kind of want transitions to be a little bit better. Go. And cartoonists do with sound effects, so sorry. Free of charge. Alrighty. Adds depth. Thank you. Let's go back to the scene. Let's take a look. Now this is without any softening. This is just as is. And I think I'm going to have to work with this line right here. That's just not working the way I want. But it's getting there. Subscribe, says Greyfish the Griffin Phones. Subscribe, yes, please subscribe. Please, please, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the Twitch, subscribe to Facebook. What do they say at these moments? Click the notification or the bell so you know when I come online, all that jazz. I think they were subscribing, asking for subscriptions for themselves, but because I'm not familiar with this handle. But thank you very much for the reminder that everybody who's watching this should subscribe. It goes a long ways. All right, so now that I've got this, ooh, hey, just subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I never know who's a bot and who's not on here. You know, you'll get random things. So thank you very much. That I appreciate. Alrighty, back to this silly tree that I'm working on. Apparently that worked. Yes, it did. And I'm very grateful that somebody finds value in what I'm doing. I do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Grayfry. I'm probably butchering your name. I'm horrible at names, so please forgive me. The Grayphonus. Thank you very much. And again, I apologize. I am 100%. I have slaughtered your handle. It's not intentional. But thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, let's see what I can do with this tree now. Let's go back to the tree. Most of the tree's hidden, so I want to play around with that layer a little bit. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, I am working in Animate. It used to be called Flash. It is a vector-based program. A lot of companies do use it to animate features such as My Little Ponies was done all in Animate. Furikuri, which was a French anime, wonderful French anime, I might add too, I know all the backgrounds were done because I was talking with that gentleman who was doing those backgrounds. Grayfy A. Okay. Grayfy A. I hope I said that right too. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you being on here. And again, I absolutely apologize for slaughtering your handle. I'm horrible at that, and I need to figure out a way to be better at it because I have so many wonderful people with such unique and wonderful handles, and I just butcher them, and I need to fix that. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Let's work on this and see if I can figure out a better way to do this effect. All right, so back to the effect. I know we're going to want a little blurring in this, so let's get this subtractive. Let's add a little more than just one blur. Just soften it a little bit. I think we're going to soften the effect overall, and we'll flip back and see how that works for us. I think it's a little more subtle. It adds a little more depth without taking too much away. And now what I can do, now I've got it all set up, we're going to play around with gradients. Yay! I did it. And so we're going to play with kind of gradients so that it's a little bit darker back here and about the same where it is now. So I don't think I have too much to work with. Or, I mean, I don't have too much work ahead of me on this one. So, V. Grayfy, are you an artist? Do you enjoy working in any particular program? I would love to hear some feedback. Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize I had a dot out there just randomly hanging out. Is this part of the... Yeah, it is. Alright. Let's unlock all of this. Oh, yeah, you were... A color stuck out there because... Alright. Let's lock all this back up and... see what we can do. Alright, I know I kind of want this to be dark. Oh yeah, while I'm in here, let's fix some of this. This I was not happy with. So let's round this out a little bit. More of a chip than this blob. We'll just kind of play around with this. This is down here in the bushes, so no one really notices it, but I will know it's there, and so now do you. So we will kind of fix this up. It's too bad because this has the potential to be a really interesting design using this technique. I am going to just fill this. I'm not happy with that, so that's fine. That's okay, that's okay. I might put some snips in there a little bit. What happens when I grab this whole thing smooth it just a hair. I know it's going to change it. Okay, that's not too bad. Didn't do anything horrible. So now I have some options. I can do a gradient in here, or I can literally paint black in a cartoon style back here, which I'm not too hip on doing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come up here, and I'm going to go ahead and create a, I want to do a linear, which is to say it'll gradate from one edge to the other instead of from a circle from the center out. And I have learned from experience that the way I work, this one here tends to be my dark color. So let's make it darker, a little less saturated. Just don't want to go completely black, but it's going to go pretty black. And then we're going to pop it in there. And it's subtle, and it's doing what I want it to do. But it is subtle. Let's see if there's more to it than this. There we go. So what I'm going to do, hopefully it'll allow me to mess with it just a little bit here. There we go. Ooh, went yellow on me for some reason. No. Let's go back into the browns. There we go. Over here. I know, dark is dark, but there's a method to my madness here. Alright, so let's see how this doesn't seem to affect the tree at all. Why is that? Where did it go? Girth? Okay, and there's the tree. Blend, subtract. You guys saw that too. It just disappeared on you, right? Okay, alpha. What's there? Boy, it's even more subtle than it was. So maybe subtractive is not going to be what I want. So let's start up here with darken and play around with this a little bit. Let's go ahead and soften it just a hair more. Not that much, just a hair. So this is just using it as a darken layer. Let's come back here to the scene. There. That's more of the effect I'm after. I still want to piddle with it a little bit, but that is definitely closer to what I am after, which means I also probably need to darken up some of these bushes, and these forward leaves probably need to be a hair darker too. But I don't want it to be too dark. I mean, I want the focus to be that sunrise coming up over the ridge, but if I were to add a character, let's go back to Boric. If I want to add that character in, I want to use the darker tones to frame this portion of the picture. So having those foreground pieces being darker like this, I kind of like. And it should be something as simple as, let's see, where the four leaves are these. So if I take this and just do a color effect, brightness, let's just play around with brightness real quick. That's way too much. But if we drag it down just a hair, and then I think the leaves in front can be left alone. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. And let's pop this up and let you guys get a look at it and see what you guys think. With the darker leaves and the shadow on the trunk, with the sun being cast, of course that means I'm going to have to do some more lighting effects overall, and I'm okay with that. It just means I'm going to have to work on this a little bit more. What do you guys think? I mean, we're going to add the leaf details in there. We're going to have some pops of color here and there in the leaves that are getting hit with light. I don't know if I want to put a character in here yet or not, but again, what do you guys think? I'm going to get some coffee. By the way, one more shameless plug. If you really want to support the channel, or if you want to support just my caffeine-fueled art engine, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/chainreaction. There you can donate to the coffee fund. Ultimately, that fund will go to replacing some of this rickety technology I got laying on. Yes, coffee, good. Coffee is always good. Now I'm an hour and a half into a 1 hour stream, but I'm feeling pretty good, and I can go a little bit longer if you guys would like. I haven't been on in a while, and it's kind of fun working on this. But I do want to remind everybody who's just come on that we do have a Kickstarter for the Scuttled card game coming up. This is the QR code as well as the URL for the project page. And when it goes live in 8 days, this code will take you to the live page in addition. I don't think the URL is going to change at all. So if you are really interested in getting your own copy of Scuttled for you and yours, and to share with friends who need to be abused with piratical shenanigans. Hey Paul, how you doing there? I just got here. Keep dancing, monkey. Yeah, right. I saw your Muppet picture. I'm jealous. Go to this QR code. It'll take you to the page. And when you get there, this is the pre-launch page. When you get there, go ahead and click on the notify me when this page goes live. And the second it goes live, you'll know when the Kickstarter has been launched in 8 days. Did I mention 8 days? And you'll be able to order a copy of Scuttled for yourself. It is important that we get as many people there who are interested and get the word out to as many people as possible. So please share this with family and friends who you think might be interested in this. I was from the Jim Henson exhibit. Oh man. Oh, I would have killed to have been there. I've seen Adam Savage go through the exhibit when it was in New York, so I can only imagine what you got to see was there. I bet you there's stuff from Labyrinth there as well as the Dark Crystal, in addition to Sesame Street and all the Muppet Show stuff. So if you're interested in owning a copy of Scuttled, this is how you can best do that. We need so many copies ordered or we will not be able to order them at all. Kickstarter is an all or nothing, and yes, there's going to be a very scary number on there, but it's what it's going to take to get them to you, and there's very little profit right now in it for me. This is an expensive game to make, at least using the avenues that I'm going through. I've chosen good quality materials. I've chosen things that will make this last so that you can have years of fun with your family and friends. So anyway, enough of that. Back to this. Just starting to play around. This is a very flat piece right now. It feels extremely flat. So by adding those shadows into the tree a little bit, and I think I need to take the blur off of that shadow layer down, I think we're on the right track for getting the look and feel that I'm after here in this piece. This is just a stand-in character from one of my comics, by the way. Phoenix Fan Fusion is coming up in 10 days. So much going on so quick. And I do have a booth. The booth will be $14.75 for those of you who are able to attend Phoenix Fan Fusion May 27th through the 29th. You can buy Dungeon Note comics. We have 2 collections of the Dungeon Note comics. There's a 3rd collection in the works, in addition to what I call the long form story, which is more traditional comic book, where we go on a grand adventure with our characters, and that is coming soon. So if you want to support Dungeon Notes, feel free to come by and hit me up at the booth. For those of you who cannot make it to Phoenix Fan Fusion, hit me up and I will be more than willing to take your money via PayPal and send you a copy. Sign up for the event on the Facebook page so your Facebook will alert and remind you of the booth number. Thank you very much, Lori. I forgot about that event. So yes, there is an event on the Chain Reaction Studio Facebook page. If you're not there, hunt it down and join. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we're going to figure out what this character is all about. Do we want a character here? If so, what should the character be? I really like the idea of kind of going, hey guys, what should be in this piece of art? This is how this whole piece kind of evolved. Bork's fun. He's fine. He's one of my favorite characters. I've been drawing him since high school, but he doesn't need to be in every piece of artwork that I do. Okay, here we go. So, I know we're going to do some more dynamic lighting, especially in this foreground piece. I think the background's good. I think I need to highlight the... I have light highlighting off all the different leaves and things here, but it's just not strong enough. Koala the Barbarian. Oh, that's a character I haven't drawn in a while. Oh my. Koala the Barbarian. What has he been up to all these years? Should he be writing Bam Bam his Roo? I think he might. I might have to draw that. Oh, the brain weasel you just put into my head. Thank you, Lori. As if I don't get lack of sleep as it is. Ooh, Koala the Barbarian. That could be fun. That could be fun. Koala. Put him in there. We could also put a fairy in here. We could have a party in here. We could have nothing at all. Just this nice little piece here. I think we're definitely going to be reworking some of these leaf details, like especially these in here. And then I think I'm going to lighten up on some of this in here. I don't like how this is playing out here. I like these three leaves. I just don't like this one for some reason. So I'll have to do something about that. It's silly when you come down to leaves and smudge. I have all kinds of smudge. I need some flowers in here. I've got some smudge, but I don't have flowers. Need some stuff in here, make this a little more dynamic, a little more interesting. But I like the shadowing technique, and the reason I did it the way I did is because it gives me control over the effect. Layers are your friend, and I kind of like where it is right now, but let's play around with it just a hair more. Again, I think that's too much. Let's go with 5, and I think it needs to be a little darker. Let's go back over to here and see how that makes me feel. And that's pretty much what art is how does it make you feel? I think I want a couple of notches here. I think I want a couple of notches going this way in this piece. Just kind of flow with the art that's already there a little bit better. I don't think it's flowing right now the way I want it to, so... But the concept is there, so it's now just tightening it up and adding more details. How is everyone doing out there? Is this stream too long? Is it not long enough? I don't think I could do a 3-hour stream, but, you know, just kind of curious what you guys think and feel about this time slot, what I'm doing, because I'll be doing different pieces of art over time. And just the kinds of things you want to see. Do you want to see me work on a dungeon note? Do you want to see me work on something very specific? I would love to hear feedback from you guys. Okay, so I know that this is going to go like this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get our eraser and just kind of drag in some lines that I know are going to work. Like that. And I think we got some in here. No, I just got rid of one, but then we'll go take this. That is not what I asked for. I asked for this. Is that not the gradient? Maybe it's this. There, it has a funky way sometimes in how it wants you to select a gradient. And see, that's not it. Nope, yeah, it is. It's just being weird. All right. That's new. Not used to it doing it like that. That's not how it's supposed to be. All right. Anyway, this is just me being old. You know, I'm kind of good with that. I think I just want to sharpen this a little bit. Just kind of play around with the ideas here. And of course, I can always soften everything by just doing this. Ooh, that's interesting. That's a completely different color. You know how we fix that? I'll just select and say, hey, you want to be this color. I think. Yeah, some reason, and okay, that's weirdness. Grab you, I think you, and then doesn't matter, select, and we will just say, hey, you're gonna be that color. And if I select everything, it said, nope, screw you, hippie. Wow. There's better. Just in case. Okay. Groovy. That did not end the way I thought it was going to. Going back out here. There we go. A little more. I might fix that a little bit. Don't like that. It's too much. Like that. And we're going to say, hey, you're this color. Although it should have drawn it in that color. I don't understand why. See, that's weird. So this is a newer version of the program, and I'm finding certain things are working slightly different than the previous version that I've worked in. And so occasionally, like this, really, there we go, it throws me a curve once in a blue moon, which I guess keeps me on my toes, but it's like, whoa, what's going on here? I'm trying to figure it out. Alright, that's not too horrible. Lock everything down, go back to the uber large picture, and I think 1.5 is good unless your flow is going good, then 2 hours. Alrighty. Well, we are coming up to an hour and a half, well, about an hour 40. And I think we're making some good progress here, definitely some good direction. The tree is setting the tone for the rest of the piece. So the rest of the foreground needs to follow suit. For example, I think this bush that's right here needs to be darkened along with, so let's see, brightness should follow suit because it remembered the previous settings. So it doesn't need that quite that dark. And I could be silly and go, hey, it's in the foreground, we should blur it just a hair, because I blur everything apparently. It's my thing. Let's see what it looks like though, just out of curiosity. Put it, and it's my way of faking depth of field. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That might be too much. I think 8 was good. Let's see how I feel about it. Excuse the pun. Yeah, I kind of like that little bit of blur on that bush. We'll leave that alone. We'll leave the tree a little more in focus. Although I could take the whole thing and push the focus out, but I kind of like it being sort of in focus. It implies that bush is closer to us than the tree. And while we're here, I'm going to mess around with it. I think that bush needs to be a little bigger. Just because if we're going to blur it, let's play with it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I like that a little better. I like that a lot better. Fireflies. So let's put the 4 bush in front of everything. There we go. And let's save, because save often, boys and girls. Do not have to remind some of you of how much work you can lose when you don't save often. Now, I have Flash on a 5-minute auto save, but it sometimes corrupts its own files, or used to. I don't know if it still does. I've worked in 3D Studio Max, I've worked in Photoshop, I've even worked in an old program called Animator Pro. There's a throwback. And I have lost so much work because I didn't save. Also, if you're going to work in layers like I'm doing here, always save the original work with the layers. You may be doing it for a client. They want a finished piece. They don't care. They want everything flattened and sent to them like a printer doesn't want your layers. That's okay. Save that as a separate file. Trust me, you will thank yourself for doing it if something were to go wrong. It is much easier to come back over here to the original file and go, oh, the stone is in the wrong spot, and move it 4 pixels to the right or left, than to try to grab it and repaint the background behind it. It is a time saver. It is a lifesaver. Always, always, always work in layers. I cannot stress that enough. You'll notice when I was doing the leaf details here, I was working in a layer. These lines are on top of the color layer so that I can come back and go, I don't like this leaf, and I can remove it and not have to repaint a bunch of stuff. So work in layers. It's sometimes a little tedious. It's also sometimes hard to keep track of your layers. You know, in this particular one, I've been pretty good at naming all the layers, but sometimes I'll forget. I get layer 12 and 14 and 15. I go, where is this? So also name your layers. It'll just make you happier. Future you will appreciate present you when you do that. So anyway, Koala the Barbarian has been put out there as a possible character to put on this road. Where does this road go? Who is on this road? Are they going to, or are they coming from? Right now I have Boric in here. He's coming from. If we put Koala on here, he would probably be best served coming from. That way we can see the front of the character, not the back of the character. But we can have characters out here on this road. We can have all kinds of things out there. What do you guys think should be out there? It's always fun to hear from you. Speaking of out there, I'm going to take that mid-ground. Where is it? Clouds, far ground. Is this? Okay, that's the far ground. This is the mid-ground. This is the mid-ground. I'm going to take that mid-ground, and let's see what it looks like if I darken it just a smidge. The shadows. Ooh, that's the other thing. I can put... Ooh, I think I'm going to do that. So, we have trees and forests and stuff out there, and we have a sun coming up. And I think it would be really cool to have that shadow of the trees starting to be on that mid-ground. So I think... let's do that. That would be kind of fun. Okay, that's not what I wanted. No. Stop it. That's okay. I guess that is what I want. I guess I have stuff there. Let's unhide everything. Yep. There we go. So as you can see, I already have. This has already been tweaked. And that's okay. So for this, it's not as important. Let's see how I want to address this. Let's insert a layer. Let's lock everything but this layer. I'm literally going to get kind of a blackish blue. So let's start with black. And then let's tweak it a little bit. Let's get in here to the blue range. Let's, there. Because there's always kind of this blue in the shadows whenever you have light coming in. It's the breaking of the two different dawn. Everything seems to be in the blues and whatnot. And I think that would be really cool to do here. So for the moment, I'm just going to rough out. Let's see. Let's make this 1 because this is going to be very small. We're just kind of. We don't care as much because everything's going to be exaggerated. Just kind of want a rough line, and we don't care. We're going to kind of go. Sound effects are free. And oops, connect, because I will hate myself later. Like I said, we do it with sound effects. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, is this the bush? Nope, those are the bushes. So I want this layer, yeah, this layer. And we're going to borrow this layer. I said we're going to borrow this layer. Hello. Oh, sorry. We're going to go Control C. Lock it back down. And we're going to come back over here to this shadow layer. And we're going to paste it in place. And we're going to turn it into this bluish black color. See, this would be a little bit easier to get that. Okay, there's that. Oops, no it's not. Hey, zoom. You're going to be this color. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, oops. Okay, seems to be missing a couple of things, so let's grab. What are those? Let's unlock everything. Let's grab. I said unlock. Let's grab some of these things because these are going to be part of the shadow. Don't want that. We want those. C. And we're going to come back to here. Lock everything but that. Paste those in place, but they're going to be this color. Okay. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm setting up a shadow layer. Maybe not very cleverly so, but I am setting up a shadow layer. So let's get into here and let's that's okay if it's a little more than okay. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to connect all the dots. More dots, more dots. And just I'm going to do that because I'm being lazy. I'll probably pay for that later. And then this will be, and I don't care because it can come out here. And then dink, and in theory, go okay. All right. Whoa, what happened? Didn't like that at all. What happened? All right. Oh, this is open. That's why. Let's fix that there, and then I guess I'm going to have to go back over to here and fix this line because it really didn't like whatever it is I was doing. Okay, and then let's make sure everything's this color. Oh. Duh. Starting to hit a point where my computer is not liking life. If you notice that, it is really not liking life. Okay. There we go. So now I can see everything. Now let's go fill everything. Hello? Oh, we're back to this. Ooh, it does not like me. Ooh, I gave it something hard to do. It's not happy. There we go. Okay, so there's a hole big enough in here that says, no, I'm not going to fill this. And it might be this right here. Yeah, let's just double check my line work. Because it was kind of sloppy and quickly laid out there. It really doesn't want me. Okay. Ooh, that was new. Ergo the save often. Sometimes this happens because it's saving. So we'll see what happens here. This might be the end of the stream. Artist flips desk. Film at 11. It's thinking about it. Well, while it's thinking about it. Hey, Mayor, how you doing? Let's see. Sorry, where I'm at has poor service. I'm back for a little bit. Yay! I'm waiting for software to decide whether it loves me or not. So, meanwhile, I'm going to have some coffee. Still thinking about it. Between you, me, and that monitor, that's a crash. I may have just lost that whole shadow layer because I didn't get a chance to save. But you saw me save earlier, so meh. Won't be the first time I've had to redo work. But I think this is because the auto backup kicked in when I hit save or something, and it's not happy. Technical difficulties have been the theme of this stream. And yeah, is that a grumpy coffee mug? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes. Yes, it is. And this is my small one. For comparison. Grumpy is one of the characters I love. I always have a Grumpy with me. Always. I think we have a crash because it's still spinning. So I'm going to do a force close. It's not going to be happy. Close the program. I turned white as a ghost because I have a white monitor in front of me. You could close now. Any day. Close, 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 close. Close window. Oh, I have to hang on while Windows reports on the problem. Maybe I don't want to report the problem. Anyone ask that? No. Alright. Well, that was unceremonious. Well, we're only 10 minutes, so it's a good place for me to stop, and then we'll figure out what happened. Today has been a complete kerfuffle. What is this? Why do I have a line? Oh well, doesn't matter. Complete kerfuffle. Joy. I'm going to open this back up just so I can put up the Kickstarter information again. Who knows how long it's going to take to open. It usually is pretty good at doing some kind of weird save. So we'll just close that up. It's animating right now. So, Sepia. I kind of dig it. It's not as in your face as... Oh yeah, see, it recovered something. So we'll say yes. Let's reuse that recover. Not as in your face, but I figured it was appropriate because this is more closely aligned to the scuttled colors. And as you can see, we do have the Kickstarter starting on the 25th, which is in 8 days. Ooh! Hey, it's saved. We're going to go File, Save As, because we don't want the recover part. And we're going to say yes. Alright, so hey, we're cooking with gas again. Where were we? Making a mess. The Kickstarter is coming up, and would love to have... Oh. Hey. Is that far back? So, with that in mind, I will come back and work on these shadows, because I think that's a fun idea. Let's open recent. We don't need the recover. We do want this, because I really, really want to share... Oops. Well, this one works too. Let's fit in window. This too, QR code, will take you to that page on Kickstarter. In 8 days, we're going to go live, and I know you guys are so tired of scuttled this and scuttled that, but it's a fun project. It is a really fun game. I did not reinvent the wheel when we came up with these rules. It is a tried and true gameplay mechanic. There is a very good balance. We have been experimenting with new specialty cards. The Black Spot, the Pirate King, Shipwreck, so forth and so on, Mutiny. And they're fun cards. There are a lot of fun cards. I'm very excited about it too, Lori. But having played a few rounds with these cards, I'm not sure the balance is there yet. I think they need to be tweaked further. We spent 2 years. Hey, thank you, Keaton. How are you been, man? I haven't seen you in forever. We spent a couple of years just play testing this game between ourselves and friends. And it is a very balanced game. It's not overwhelming. I mean, I think I can come up with a couple of specialty rules that I don't think will push the balance. But there's 126 cards, and that does include the captain's cards. So there's 125 cards that are playable. And hey, I love it. I've got a lot of people just coming out of the woodwork here, and I'm so joyed at it. I've got people I haven't seen in years or heard from in years popping in here. So thank you all for just showing up. And then of course we got Greyfi A, Greyfi, I believe I said that correctly, who has subscribed and joined us out of the blue. Love it. Thank you very much. But the Kickstarter is going live in 8 days. And if you would like a copy of this game that, like I said, is very balanced as it is, it plays very fun. It will play 3 to 8 players. I think it can go up to 10. I haven't really had a chance to play test it with 10. As you add people, the dynamics of the game really change and gets very interesting. The most vicious games ever played have always been 3-person games, though. I mean, they're fast. That's why I think this game would be good if you took it to work with coworkers and you all took your lunch. You know, there's like 2 or 3 of you. Actually, it'd have to be 3 of you, because a 2-player game just wouldn't work. You know, you get 3 of you sitting there, and you could play several hands while at lunch. It could be a Fast and Furious game. It could take forever to play. It really depends on your players. But the shenanigans of the different hands, and you know, you start to form strategies when you're playing a game. Don't. Your hand won't be yours, and it doesn't matter if somebody sees the cards in your hand, because it won't be your hand for long. It may come back around to you eventually, but it won't be your hand for long. And it's so silly and so tongue-in-cheek, and it's very piratical. It is a very, very piratical shenanigator game. Insert made-up word here. So if you want to play this game, please, in 8 days when we go live, order a copy, 2 or 3. There'll be some interesting rewards, I'm hoping. Nothing too outlandish. We have one tier where if you donate, you can get a copy of the game and a special t-shirt. And those are limited editions. There's only going to be 100 of those. And then the rest is just buying copies of the game. And it's an all or nothing. So if we hit our goal, that's the only time you guys will be charged. If we don't hit our goal, then no one's out anything. That's what I like about this, is if we hit our goal, awesome. It goes as planned. If we don't hit our goal, no one's out anything, and we'll start over and try it again. There are 25 more letters in the alphabet. Always remember that. If plan A goes awry, there are 25 more letters. If you run out of those, then there are numbers. And there's hex and whatever else is after that. So please click this QR code, scan this QR code. The URL is not in this particular one, but it is kickstarter.com/project/scuttled/scuttled, and you'll be able to find it. But this QR code will take you straight there, and once you click the notify me once it goes live, the second the Kickstarter goes live, you'll be notified, and you can order for yourself or others. It's on the Chain Reaction page as well as my personal page, the QR code as well as the URL. Share that with anybody, absolutely anybody you think would be interested in this game. It is going to be a lot of fun to see and hear the stories of people when they get their decks, to talk about the different games that they've had and some of the silliness that has happened. And I'm always going to be here for rule clarifications, although the rules I think are very clear. But if not, you know, we'll have a page for it so that you guys can find out. But always remember, the cards happen first, and you go from there. It's a lot of fun. We are 2 minutes we're 2 minutes from the top of the hour. I'm very excited to share this stuff with you. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to my family and friends who have come out to see this stream that seems to be random at days. And let me tell you, the tech issues today were spectacular. We had one just a minute ago. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, but we survived, and we had fun doing it. So thank you guys very, very much. I'm going to work on leaves and shadows apparently. And so next time when we join, if we're still working on this, because next Tuesday will only be a few days before Phoenix Comic Con. Let me go back over here. Will be just a few days. Phoenix Comic Con is the 27th and 29th at the Phoenix Convention Center. I'm going to be booth 1475. If you will go to the Chain Reaction Studios Facebook page, there is an event that Lori has set up for us. And you click that event and it'll remind you where I am on the floor, because not everybody can remember 1475 for the next 10 days. I know I won't. I have to completely go back and go, what's my booth again? So that will let you know. And we will be demoing Scuttled there at the convention center. I think we're going to set up in one of the open game rooms, and we'll have some people playing the game. Just come on in. It's a game that's easy to drop into and to drop out of, so you don't have to invest a whole lot of energy into it if you're like, I've got other things to do. I've got to get that autograph. I mean, Chuck Norris is going to be there. And he's only going to be there on Saturday. And he's only doing autographs. He's not doing a panel. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have things to do. John Barrowman's going to be there. Eccleston, the first reboot Doctor, is going to be there. It's going to be an amazing convention. So even if you don't come see me, come out to the convention center and have a ball. I think there's going to be guests coming out of the woodwork for this. But Scuttle launches on the 25th, and we're going to be at the convention 2 days later. So please hit the Kickstarter. If for whatever reason you can't get to this QR code today, but you're able to go to the convention center, I will have business cards with this information on it, so you can take it with you and order at your leisure. So we are now officially at the top of the hour. Thank you guys very much. I want you to know, you guys are loved. You're very deserving of that love. The world is hard enough out there. Don't beat yourself up. Just know that in the darkest of times, there are people who are going to love you no matter what. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. Guys, thank you very, very much for putting up with me and all these technical difficulties. And I hope to see you in 10 days. Take care, guys. Bye.